We will begin with the very obvious. So if you can give a small introduction about yourself, about the company, where are you based from, and this.
My name is Mike Ritzema. I'm the founder and president of Superior Trucking Payroll Service. We're a payroll service in the United States in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and all we really do is help trucking companies. We don't try to pick up restaurants and doctors' offices and manufacturing facilities or anything like that. All we do is trucking companies and try and help them be better. We've been at it for 14 years full time. We've got clients in, I think, 27 states now throughout the United States. And yeah, we keep we keep on going and keep on growing.
So what is the story of Superior Trucking Payroll Company? Where did this I come from that you wanted to choose one specific vertical and focus on that?
Yeah, thanks. That's a great question. We started the company. I started it back. The story goes to about 2005, and I was working for a trucking company, and they were using a national payroll provider, and they're a fine payroll provider for doctors' offices and restaurants and all that kind of stuff. But they couldn't give us what we needed. And we had wanted to do a specific thing where we tracked the miles we were paying the driver, but we didn't want to pay him for those miles. We were going to pay him a specific flat rate. And those two numbers were going to move a little bit, but we wanted the mileage because we wanted to do some cost analysis because the cost of running the truck isn't just the driver, it's the fuel and the maintenance and all those things. And what was happening was because that national payroll provider, um, there was zero rate in there. It was like, 300 miles at zero per mile, and they would just put a default rate in, and so the drivers were getting paid a default rate for that. They were overpaying our drivers, and so once we figured that out, I went to the owner of the company and I said to him, "Hey, I can make you something better. It'll do all of everything we want to do. It'll do everything this national payroll provider does." And he's like, "Yeah, okay, go do it." And I said, "All right." So I'd already done some other things for him. Trucking people would know I did some IFTA software. Um, Trucking people will know that it's a fuel tax calculation. So I went about working on this payroll software and I made it do everything that the National Payroll Service had done. And it worked like a top. And now we've got free payroll, right? And so that's great. From there, I kept working there. Everything was fine. And then I got to through one of our vendors. I met some other trucking companies, and the trucking companies had questions about some things, and there were some best practices that they had no idea about. And these were really smart people. This wasn't somebody who would just not wouldn't want to know better. This was a really bright guy. And he had no idea what I was talking about. And I showed it to him and I showed him how he could do this and that and the other thing. Again, for the trucking people, I was telling them about per diem. And it got me thinking, there's a lot of other people that don't know about this. Really, again, really smart people. This isn't that they don't want to be better informed. They just didn't know about it because it's kind of kept as a little secret. And so I'm like, there's got to be a lot more people out there. And at the same time, and so I started this company full time in 2010, and we've just gone from there. And the more people find out about us, the more people want to work with us, and that's that. We get to help a lot of people, and we're very grateful for it.
That as you have already given a snippet of it during the introduction. So I just want a more granular view of where does Zoho come into context in your everyday business, and how's your experience of that?
Yeah, we live in Zoho now. We're all in. We use it for mail, so we're in our email all the time, of course. We use it with our CRM, and one of the things that we've done with it is we use Ring Central for our phone service, and they're an integration partner of Zoho. So every time the phone rings, it pops up a little screen, the little corner of the screen saying, "Hey, this is who's calling," which helps us get them directed to the right person. It also helps us track the calls. And the CRM tracks all the emails for us. We set all that up too, where if I was the only one here for some reason, everybody else was gone, and someone had an email a question, I could go look at the old emails from that person and find out exactly what they were talking about, and not have to reach my account manager if it's their day off or something like that. Even just that alone is I'm already Zoho's already great with me. Like that's already a huge value to what we do. We also use it with Sales IQ a lot, so we can chat people up on our website. Someone comes to our website, and Sales IQ will show me where they came from. Was it a direct search? Are they on their phone or are they on a computer? It'll show me the path that they've taken as far as, okay, they started on our main page and then they went to our blog and now they're going to a different article on our blog. And it shows us all these things, which really gives us an idea of how to engage the person that's there. See if we can help them. See if even if they just need information and that they're not even looking to sign up or be a client, but they just have a question. So Sales IQ really helps us reach those people. We also use campaigns for the same thing. We're able to send out educational material to our clients and other people we know in trucking, anybody we know. So we're in Zoho all the time. And I'm the one who keeps our books here. So I'm importing invoices every day into the books because with payroll, it's not a standard invoicing process. It's a little different. So it comes right out of our payroll software, and then I can import it right in there, and I can import all the payments we made right in there. It lets me reconcile my bank account every day, which is very important for what we do with the number of transactions in and out every single day. So my monthly bank reconciliation takes about 2 minutes because I had a few months ago, I had two bank accounts. One of them had 27 pages in the bank statement. One had 20 pages in the bank statement. And I was done in half an hour, which is crazy because that would take days if we did it by hand. I might never get done. Uh, so like in that to me right there, I'm already good. I use Zoho Meeting when I can with clients when we want to set up a visual because we have clients all over the country. If someone from farther away wants to know about us, having a video presence like this is much more powerful than just sending emails. So I can see them, they can see me, they can see Melissa who helps new clients sign up in our office, and they can feel like they know us better. We're all in the people business. We're all in the relationship business, and being able Zoho Meeting allows them to see us and build that relationship. I'm sure I'm forgetting 5 or 6 other Zoho apps that I use because I just use them and I don't even think about it. I just like, oh yeah, we just do it that way. Like it's like riding a bike, right? It just becomes automatic. But there's so much power in all the things that Zoho can do for you. It's incredible. Another use for Sales IQ is we have a chat bot in there. Not because we want to not talk to people, but because some people just have the same question and they can get an answer right away. They're looking for a copy of a pay stub. And so it's the first option. They click on that and here's the website you want to go to, or here's where you want to find it, things like that. Or someone just looking for just general information about, they just have a question about payroll. Well, here's our blog. We've got a ton of educational articles in there. Check that out. We're still here if you need us. And we can also put in there, stop bothering me, so that the chat bot doesn't ask him anything. So we have that in there too, which is some people don't like those chat pop-ups. So we want to be respectful of that. And Zoho Sales IQ with workflows and the Zobot makes it so easy that and not literally anyone can do it, but just about anyone can do it.
Since you're a super bud, you know that it's all about a customer relationship that is built between the two groups of people. So, taking a cue from there, if we just try to segue into it, like since you already talked about using CRM and how CRM takes into account customer relationship, campaigns helps you send out all the relevant educational blogs related to W2 or 1099, as you said in the video. And I also went in the blogs that you talked about those forms. And taking a cue from there, you also talked about uh, how the chat box. I went to the website and yes, there was a chat box on the bottom right corner. So all these things they bring a particular an ideal customer to you in that case, and you will have certain memories with certain customers. So would you be interested to share any success story with regards to that, where Zoho came to the forefront and you used Zoho in order to you know provide more benefits to the customer? Any specific customer success story if you're interested?
Well, I have an example of customer acquisition from this week. So there's a trucking company in another state. And we have been sending them emails through campaigns for 4 years. And then just yesterday, he called us and he said, all right, I'd really like to talk to you guys about helping us with our payroll needs for our trucking company. And he was able to spell out exactly what he wanted. He had read enough of our website because we kept sending him articles. Just not we aren't super salesy. We just keep giving out information. And he finally, after 4 years of sending him an email once or twice a month, he was ready to buy. But I could go into those campaigns and I could see that he was opening. First it would say it was sent. Then I started seeing they were getting opened, and then they're getting clicked. All these things, all this data to see that what it helps us make better decisions. What kind of email should we send and things like. So that's the first one that I think of right out of the bat is the customer acquisition part for us. But also the service part. We can use the CRM to know to get, besides keeping track of people, just you can use it for so much. We actually are just putting in now. We just decided to do this week too. We have special instructions for every client. Not every client is the same. Just like I'm sure for Zoho, not every client is the same. How could they be? There's millions of them. And so we have special instructions for every client. Make sure you send the reports to this person, or they want this way, or whatever they want, right? And we decided this week, we're like, we got to put all that in the CRM. And like, they're like, can we make a spot for that? I'm like, oh yeah, we can make a spot for that. I'm like, we can put anything in there. So we're going to move everything into the CRM, which helps us take better care of our clients because everything's going to be in one place. We're going to know where to find it. We keep it updated anyway, but then instead of wondering, oh, is it in a folder called special instructions on our network, or is it in each client, or if they're different, which one's updated? We're like, no, the CRM is, and the data in there is the absolute source. So we'll be able to take better care of our clients and what they need and how they want to see things and how they want us to work with them, because all the data will be right in front of all of our account managers every single time they look at it. And I think that's going to be really helpful because sometimes an account manager gets sick and someone's got to fill in for them. And so now they're going to know right away, go right into the CRM. You're going to see everything you need to know and be able to give that client the quality of service that we expect them to get.
Thank you so much. Since you have shared your story and you have also talked about your company and also your experience with Zoho and how you share it with your customers, that you want to with the other admins and what will be
Oh yeah.
your idea to them.
Yeah. Advice I would give to admins and especially new ones, people that are just starting to use Zoho, is dive in, get involved in the communities. The You can find people everywhere that use Zoho. There's the Zoho meetups are a great resource. And again, a lot of times when I go to those, I'm not, sometimes I have things I specifically want to learn, but then I'll learn three other things I wasn't even thinking about that are going to be really helpful. And you get to meet people that are doing the same thing you're doing. And they formed a community. So embrace that community. I want to tell you to go to Zoholics. I haven't been yet though. If you ask me in a couple of months, I'll say go to Zoholics. Um, but just really dive in on it and really get invested in it. If you if you're really scared of all the technology stuff, there are a lot of Zoho consultants that can help you. If you can't find anybody, a lot of times too, one of the things we did, the way I found out about Zoho was through another payroll service, and so I've been fortunate to be able to share what I know with other payroll services as well. And so just ask your colleagues if you're in that kind of environment. Hey, how do you use Zoho? Oh, so do we. How do you use it? And just the exchange of the stories, you're going to gain so much knowledge. It's not as big and scary as you think it is. It can seem really big and scary if you've never used a CRM or you've never used a chatbot. Um, there's help everywhere. There's help at Zoho.com. Just Google what you want to know. How do I make Zoho Sales IQ do this thing? Or when I try to do this, I get this error. Somebody else has had that error. I promise you, you're not the first one. So the answer is probably right there. And if all of those things failed, you can always email them. Email them at They have different email addresses for each of the products, as far as I know, at least the ones I've used. And then they have one for Zoho One, and they have all these other emails. And you can be like, I had an issue when I started PageSense, and it wasn't connecting to my Zoho One for some reason. And so I emailed them, hey, are these not connected? I'm confused. And I got an email back very shortly after. Oh, yep, it's all set. And it was. So no problem. And that was rare. That never. I mean, that doesn't happen a lot. Like as far as having the problem, but the way that they were able to address it, and you know, I was good to go. That was it's fantastic. So yeah, but there's resources everywhere. Uh, go find someone in your line of work that uses it and talk to them, or go find the local CRM or the local Zoho consultant, or go to one of the meetups. The meetups are fantastic if you can get to them.
Thank you so much, Mike. It was really very enriching talking to you. Not only did I get to learn about your experience with Zoho, but also got to learn about how the payroll services with regards to trucking is taken into account and is done in USA. I would definitely want to thank you for joining with us during this particular session and taking time out of your busy schedule. And thank you so much.